Hello, Sheila. Today is day 6 of the 9 candles, and this is 6.2 because I had to learn this time because tech support had to take me off their computer. I had to learn how to convert all the shows from Zoom, run them over to YouTube, get all the sound balanced and all that stuff. And I got everybody else over but Sheila. And somehow or another, I got her whole audio over, but bits and pieces. It was very strange. It's like I chopped Sheila up and threw her out in the front lawn. So I had to call her up and say, by the way, you want to do this again? So this is part 2. And you all know if you're here for night 6, you know it's about becoming. If it's your first time here, just follow along. We do the best we can. And Sheila, would you like to say a few kind words before we light some candles here?
Oh, well, no, thank you very much for always inviting me. It's always nice to be included. I enjoy doing these. It brings so much light, enlightenment, and information, and the positiveness that goes out into the world. We just all really need to be a part of that. So I
Well,
appreciate you
Sheila
thinking
does
of
that
me.
every day, so she's an easy ask on this. But anyway, we're going to go over to the candles, and I really appreciate you being here, Sheila. Okay,
No
here we go.
problem.
Here are the candles, and as you can see, you're saying, but they're not lit. There's a 6th candle to light. That's because I played with them last night to make it look okay. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to start by lighting the candles, and then I am going to read the meditation. And I worked hard on this meditation, and I kept taking it, making it shorter. And then I kept being told, no, it needs to be longer. But anyway, your patience and your listening to us and joining our community and joining our light with each other's light makes it so much brighter. Candle 1, candle 2, candle 3, and that's my fingers being burnt. That's not part of the candle lighting. And it starts off in this sacred moment, we gather to honor the journey of becoming. We open our hearts to this ritual, welcoming the vast potential within each of us. The potential seated in our very DNA holds the blueprint of our growth and our transformation. And as we light each of these candles, it's 5. As we light each of these candles, we invoke the very power of the photonic energy, the very essence of light. Light symbolizes the illumination of our path, the awakening of our inner wisdom, and the nurturing warmth of our universal love. Each flicker of the flame is a reminder of the divine spark within us, a spark that connects us to the infinite web of the universe. We breathe deep, feeling the gentle dance of the energy that surrounds us. This energy flows through us, around us, and beyond us, weaving us into the fabric of existence that calls us to become one in this graceful dance, to move in harmony with the rhythms of life. In this state of connection, we recognize that our individual journeys are part of a larger cosmic story, and our growth is not isolated. It is intertwined with the growth of all beings. We are strands of the great tapestry of the universe and the elements, each contributing our essence to the whole. As we light these candles, we release any resistance, any fear of change. We surrender to the flow of becoming, trusting the wisdom of our DNA and the guiding light of the universe. We allow ourselves to expand, to evolve, to become the full expressions of our true selves. This is Sheila's candle, candle 6. With each breath, we feel the presence of the universe within us. We are not separate. We are one with the stars, the earth, and each other. We embrace the dance of the energies, knowing that we are supported, loved, and guided on our journey. We carry the light of these candles within us, a beacon of hope and transformation. We step forward into our lives, with renewed faith, open hearts, and a deep sense of connection to the universal being. May we always remember that we are part of something greater and that our journey of becoming is sacred and a beautiful dance in the universe. And there we go. That's day 6. I always have to recount. Sometimes I get my numbers off. The first time I did 9 candles, I only put 8 on the plate. So, so Miss Sheila, what do you want? You're 6, which is hearth and home and warmth, and is it your life path number?
No, my life path number is number 7, but it's my birth number, number
Mm-hmm.
6, June, right?
Right.
So, um, becoming, I was sitting and just kind of meditating on it and thinking about becoming. I used to think that I had to avoid pain and circumstances that made me crazy and
Mm-hmm.
circumstances that I don't want to be in. And I still want to avoid them. However, in order for me not to be sucked up into those type of circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through the pain because it woke me up. I had to go through another difficult situation because then it woke me up. And I used to ask this. You know how back in the day they always says, everybody has special gifts. You just got to find them. And I remember sitting as a child like, well, how do I do that? What
Mm-hmm.
am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to become? What
Mm-hmm.
if I get it wrong? What if I'm in charge? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I entered into a lot of situations that I never should have been in just because I wanted to become something, anything at that
Mm-hmm.
point, and with no direction. However, today I have learned that all of that scattered energy I had back in the day, it did help me focus. Although every time I went out of the boundaries of who I was supposed to become, it got really, really painful.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, it had to bring me right back into walking the path that I was supposed to be walking. Not your path, not everybody else's path, but my path,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I've learned that while I'm on the path, whatever feels great, wonderful, and you just check in with who you are in
Mm-hmm.
any situation. And when you feel good about it, then stay there. If you don't feel good about it, don't do it. And it was really that gut wrenching simple for me on how to become who I needed to become. So the becoming for me gets a lot easier. And every once in a while, for some reason, I got to check the ethers and make sure that
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the right path. And I go over there. That was painful. I'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's my advice and my thought on how we are in the becoming of who I became. I'm still becoming, right? I'm still learning it. I'm not there yet. And I probably will never be there until I am done coming down to this earth
Mm-hmm.
and have finished all of my life goals that I wanted to do. I'm not talking life goals here on earth. I can do anything I want. I'm talking my spiritual goals, my
Mm-hmm.
spiritual goals of freedom and of knowing who I am and my self-confidence and being out there and just being that light. I used to come up with a poem where I used to talk about being the lighthouse. You know how a
Mm-hmm.
lighthouse sit up on top of a rock. It takes a beating from the weather, from the ocean, but yet the light will still be that light for that ship that's out at sea who is lost.
Mm-hmm.
And the lighthouse doesn't have to go save them. It just has to stay there and be the light. That's it.
Right.
Its only job. And that's what I am working for the becoming, just to be the light. I don't have to save anybody, but just be the light. That's all
Be
I
a
got.
human. Be the human being, not the human doing. I think a lot of
Yes.
our early years, we think we have to do something to get it to happen instead of understanding the be part.
Yeah.
It's like in the poem that all this becoming started from, it's underneath this video, but it says there's a point in it where God says, you say, becoming who? Who am I becoming? God says, becoming who I created you to be, a person of light, of love, of charity, of hope, of courage, of joy, of mercy and grace and compassion. I made you for more than the shallow pieces you've decided to adorn yourself with. and that you cling to with such greed and fear. And greed and fear are the two lowest vibrations. If you've ever seen the human
Absolutely.
vibrational scale, that's two lowest ones. Let those things fall off of you. I love you. Don't change. Become who I made you to be. I'm going to keep telling you that until you remember it. And that's what Sheila's talking about. I can totally relate to all the paths I took. That, oh, that looks so good down there. And then run down there and find out, whoa, that's one scary damn place.
Like, no, 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 I don't want to do that again.
That hurts. Or I could cease to be if I hung out there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and I think, you know, like this political climate, and I don't want to go into politics, but we're watching so many people who have went down a path and never redirected.
Mm-hmm.
They just kept down it, and we're watching the demise, the destruction that it happens when you literally get off of the path of what we're supposed to be doing on this earth, which is becoming the light, the love, the, you know, the place of comfort and love and all of that stuff. So we're just watching it real time.
Right. I mean, we've got front row seat if we want to have it. Sometimes you need to not take that seat because it's too distressing to watch people falling off the cliff.
Yeah,
And
I was looking for one of my poems.
good,
uh,
go find one of your poems because um really doing the nine candles this time, it's just been so much fun because everybody's place of enlightenment is different. Some people have shifted slightly and decided there really are darker spots in the world. I like Rory Duff, who is a geobiologist that I follow, that has a lot to do with how I understand the earth energies work. He talks about those of us who live and work and trust in the light. And he said he doesn't believe in darkness, he just believes there's less light.
right.
So that and it doesn't, and they're not being saved by it. They're not choosing the joy and the harmony and the dance that it talks about in the meditation. And I've been reading a lot of legends because I'm trying to explain how ley lines spread across the earth and how we have these vibrations that go across the earth. And one of the Native American legends from the Southwest is that Spider Mother got to the center of the earth and she spun out a web. It sent its web all across the place, and we can choose to dance on that web and accept the energy from that web, or we can try to avoid it, and then we just end up falling in the spaces, not really having a place we claim. So what'd you write, Miss Sheila?
Well, this poem was written, I was going through a phase of less worthiness, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't believe anybody or anything and loved me. And somebody had challenged me to go into meditation and ask the universe how the universe how does the universe see me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell you the universe could care less if I have 10, 20, or 30 pounds on my butt. I can tell you that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So here's one of the responses that I wrote down when I was doing the meditation that I
Mm-hmm.
received. It says, "You were made from the same fragrance I gave a rose. I love you equally as I love the rose. I see you equally as I see beauty in the rose. I have given you everything that you needed to bloom. If others do not see your silk petals, your wonderful smile, your spirit inside, they can't see theirs either. Therefore, I have also given you the everlasting power to shine bright and give hope."
That's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
That totally fits with this because
Yeah.
um the candles that I bought this year for they're all different colors, but they're all shaped like roses. They're on partially opened roses, and you light them and they just bloom out and become very pretty things.
And roses have always been my favorite flower. So when spirit talked to me, you know, not in the literal sense like I'm a channeler, I'm just saying
Mm.
then when I heard the information that I was receiving, it they brought it to me and where I would be able to understand. So
Yeah, roses are some of my favorite flowers too. My mother used to raise prize-winning roses. She used to, gorgeous, gorgeous things. And I had some rose trees for a while. And it's true, you know, you think of all the roses that bloom and give their beauty to the world, and just because of where they bloom, there's lots of old farmsteads in Texas. You'll drive by in the June around now when it's going on, and the old native roses that people just kind of stuck in the ground and group, and they're all over the fence, and there's all these beautiful roses blooming. The fact no one sees them doesn't mean that their
yeah,
beauty in essence doesn't grace the world.
yeah, so true.
So
Yep.
so your name should be Sheila Rose Celtic Tarot.
Well, the fact that I gather roses like unconsciously, and I have a tattoo on my leg of a rose and a butterfly. Yeah,
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a theme.
yeah, it's a bit of a theme with me.
Well, I think we all should recognize we all bloom in our own way, and we all share what we can share when we do that. And the other part of that, though, is to acknowledge other people's blooming.
Yes,
When you see someone really showing up and doing their deal. So I
yes,
remember watching in the height of COVID when we were all huddled in our dark little rooms in the middle of the night, trying not to be afraid. There was this crazy lady that used to show up in her bedroom and read tarot. She wrote Kipper cards, which I had not paid much attention to. And I used to watch her, and I was not on YouTube yet. I was a card reader because I'd been since I was a kid. Really appreciated her style. And I kept saying, this woman never sleeps. I didn't realize she was coming home from work.
right,
But I
right.
but I really appreciated her. And when I got to read when I started to reach out in the community, she's one of the first people I reached out to, and it was Miss Sheila. And she is what she is, and that you can kind of tell that. So I really appreciate you coming and coming and I becoming.
Yes, I will be here when you ask. If I can do it, I will.
I understand. And I'm really excited that you got to be here and be day 6 and bring it all down. I'm going to go blow out the candles because this will appear on the 6th night. And I don't want people to leave their candles burning or they won't have any at the end. Ah, there we go. Bye bye. And as that smoke wafts up, it takes our intentions to bring light to become part of harmony. And y'all have a good night. And I will see you tomorrow. And Miss Sheila, you have a good night. And thank you so much. And
You're
thank
welcome.
everyone for being here. Bye bye.